Human Nation, time for another Faith First. This one again is going to deal with our response to coronavirus. Everybody's been inside for a very long time now. Um, I've been working at home for about a month, and I know a lot of people are struggling a lot more than some others. Everything's different. One, it's the end of April almost, and there are no regular season baseball games, which, if you're like me, and most of you who watch this channel probably are, is absolutely terrible. That's probably the biggest change. Not being able to go out to a restaurant, sit down. Um, there's just been a lot of different things, and there's a new normal, and it's scary and it's different. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today is in the midst of all of this, we went from an early March, which still felt very much like winter, to springtime, all during this quarantine. So it's really hard to notice spring. With spring comes, new life, new growth. There's this optimism. You want to go outside. It's warm. The flowers are blooming. And you all may have seen in a previous video, I take pride in my garden and how things are doing out there. And I've noticed the roses have started to grow. So I shot some footage of the roses, and I'll put some in here. You can see some of the buds are in the process of blooming. Some haven't bloomed yet. Some are just little sprouts and you can't even see the buds yet. And then some roses have opened up and some are in full bloom. Our time is very similar to that right now. I feel like where we are currently, we were a bud when all this started. It was hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We've gotten a little bigger. You can see a bloom is coming. And in certain areas, that bloom is getting ready to open up right now. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be vibrant. It's going to be colorful. And we're going to be able to look back on what happened during this coronavirus pandemic and take something away from it. Whether that's the importance of spending time with family, the importance of the things that really are important. We've pretty much been stripped down to just our family and God. There's no sporting events. We're working from home. There's no commutes to the office. There's no traffic because we don't really have to go out. For those of us that still have jobs and don't have the stress that comes with that, there's this almost nakedness of not having all the things that just make our lives busy. And in some ways, that should put it into perspective how great it is when we can just go to a restaurant, really not take these things for granted. And I hope that's something that comes out of this as a positive, in that these little things we enjoy more and we appreciate the fact that we can do them again. I want to talk about a few specific verses that came out to me that I was able to find that dealt with flowers, that dealt with growth, that I can share with you. The first one's from Isaiah 40, verse 6. It says, a voice says, cry out. And I said, what shall I cry? All people are like grass, and their faithfulness is like the flowers of the field. We also have Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 12. And this is still Old Testament. Flowers appear on the earth. The season of singing has come. The cooing of doves is heard in our land. I love this one because we are very close, I feel like, to being in that season of singing. That we're very close to things opening up. Business is opening up, just like the flowers opening up. And we are in that time of singing, of rejoicing, of celebrating with our friends, with our family. You may even be able to hear in the background right now, a bird just started singing. Kind of like the cooing of the doves that we were just reading about. We're getting very close. We have to keep the faith, stay optimistic, stay positive. The last verse, Luke 12, 27 through 31. And this is what Jesus was saying to a group of people who had gathered around him when he was speaking about the Father's love and the Father's ability to take care of us and desire to take care of us. Consider how the wild flowers grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire. How much more will he clothe you, you of little faith? And do not set your heart on what you will eat or drink. Do not worry about it. For the pagan world runs after all such things, and your Father knows that you need them. But seek his kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. Luke 12:27 through 31. This verse right here, if you're going to cling to anyone, stick with this one right here. Jesus is saying, the grasses of the field are clothed in color by God. You know, he takes care of the birds who do not worry about what they're going to eat tomorrow, where they're going to live, you know, all these little things. They just know it's there. If God cares so much about the flowers and the grass and the birds, how much more does he care about you, the creation he made in his own image? We don't need to set our hearts on what we're going to eat, what we're going to drink, even though it's scary and even though it is something that concerns a lot of people and can cause anxiety. It says the pagan world runs after such things, but God knows that we need them. We may not have our wants, but God will meet our needs if we take it to him. So hopefully this was able to encourage you. Hopefully you were able to get something out of this. Please email me, codyscardcloset@gmail.com, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything you need me to pray about. I know this is a very challenging time for a lot of people. And if you just need somebody to chat with, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to speak with you, to chat with you, have a conversation. You know, the social interaction is something that we're really struggling to maintain in these days. And if I can help you out with that, let me know. Thanks for checking all this out. We'll be back with some more card videos in the next one. God bless. I'll see you later.